Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about another money-making method. My previous money-making method, the 100 chaos per hour in yellow maps, was very well received. And recently, Tuna's video on the power of auspicious and harbinger farming in Valdo's Rest has caught a lot of people's attention. However, in Tuna's video, he's doing a very high investment version. He's doing things such as using Nemesis currency, which is extremely profitable. And if you can afford to do that, if you have the currency to invest into your maps, your Scarabs, your Sextants, absolutely do that right now. Turn off this video right now. You're good. You've gotten all the information you need. It's great. Go do it. But I know that a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people can't just say, I'm going to spend 3-4x immediately on mapping supplies, run 4 maps, sell everything, and have more X than I started with. Now, this does still require a significant amount of Exalts to get going due to the cost of the auspicious watchstones. So I'll say up front, if you are broke right now and you need a money-making method, look at my other video, run some Haywark Hamlet, run some essences and some rituals, get your seed money, and then come back to this video, and come back to this method. And I'm sure I'll be talking about more low investment and high investment money-making methods in the future. So if you're at a point where you say, hey, I have more money, I can do high investment stuff, do you have any other options for me? Subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, join my Discord. It's the best way to see the next video I'm going to make. I'm definitely going to be uploading some more money-making videos in the near future. So keep an eye out for those. But let's say you are here for auspicious harbinger farming. What do you need to get started? How much does it cost? And is it worth it if you're not investing highly? At a minimum, you will need 1 auspicious platinum Valdo's Rest watchstone. This costs 8 Exalts. You'll also need 3 other platinum Valdo's Rest watchstones. They can either have Harbingers or Laden on them. Harbingers is a chance for an additional Harbinger. Laden is a chance for Harbingers to drop additional stacks of currency. The more you invest, the more valuable Laden becomes relative to Harbingers. When I last checked prices, Harbingers were about 1.3x each for a max roll, and Laden was about 2x for a max roll. So that means you'll be spending 12 to 14x initially. Don't think about this as money lost. Think about this as you're renting the watchstones. When you're done, if you want to go into a different farming method, you can sell them. You just have to have the capital up front to rent it and make money off of it. You'll get it all back later. So, what else do you need? Well, you need to have completion in Valdo's Rest. You will want Ominous Arrival for an additional Harbinger, and Diplomatic Escort, which is where most of your money is going to come from. Diplomatic Escort is a 30% chance for any Harbinger to be transformed into a Boss Harbinger. Boss Harbingers are kind of like the Harbinger blob from last league, but a mini version. And they're awesome, they give a ton of loot, they are why this whole strategy works. If you have extra points in Valdo's Rest, I suggest either going for Test of Loyalty, farming Syndicate, maybe Intervention. It's really easy to just toss stuff into Intervention, get a bunch of Scarabs back. Scarabs sell very well. Or if you want to invest in Metamorph, Intrinsic Darkness and Repeated Experiments, you get 2 Metamorphs per map. Alternatively, you can invest in Blight and do Outbreak, Mass Mycelium, and Blight Titans to get a bunch of blighted maps and oils, which will also be passive currency. But mapping's profitable. I don't need to tell you that. Investing in your maps is profitable. So how much money specifically do the Harbingers add to your map using the Auspicious and Harbingers watchstones? That is the question that I've done some testing to answer. My methodology is simple. I ran tier 14 to 16 maps in Valdo's Rest with the watchstones. I recorded the drops from the Harbingers themselves. I kept it separate from the drops from the rest of the map. And I'm specifically looking at the major currency shards, so Chaos, Annul, Ancient, Harbinger, Exalted, and Mirror, and the tier 14 to 16 map drops. They do drop other things. They drop things like currency, uniques, stick sockets. All that stuff adds value, which means you will make more than the numbers I'm about to give you. So yeah, that's my bare bones. Now, let's get into my testing and some of the numbers. So, these maps are basically Alk and Go. They're chiseled, they're alked, and Zana is adding 2 Harbingers for 4 Chaos from the map device. Which means, with the 1 Auspicious and 3 Harbinger stones, I get 3.56 Harbingers per map. I've then recorded the loot from 50 Harbingers and 50 Boss Harbingers. The loot is a little inconsistent. I'm sure I'd probably have to do a sample of 1,000 of each to get really good numbers. especially when it comes to things like the Exalted shards. There could be vastly more or vastly less Exalted shards than what I got. So take these with a grain of salt. However, this is the data from 50 of each Harbinger type. So what this means is the average currency return from a normal Harbinger is around 1.6 to 1.7 Chaos Orbs, which is not very much money. That's not super profitable, just talking about a basic Harbinger. On the other hand, the profit from a boss Harbinger is around 19 Chaos Orbs. 1/3 of your Harbingers will always be boss Harbingers. So to extrapolate, that means around 1.2 Harbingers per map will give you 19 Chaos Orbs, and about 2.4 will give you 1.7 or 1.6, which if you total everything together, it means an average return of about 26.6 Chaos, or an average profit of about 22.6 Chaos, after accounting for the 4 Chaos map device cost, which, to compare to the previous method that I talked about, is about double. So is this a good money-making method, even if you don't have any currency to invest? Yes, it absolutely is. And if you spent 12 Exalts on your Watchstones, how many maps do you have to do before you make that money back? About 80. But again, remember, that's 80 just counting the drops that I wrote down here, which is the shards and the maps. You do get other things from the Harbingers, and you do get massive amounts of profit from the maps. You're going to be doing Ultimatum. That's several Chaos every single map. You're going to be clearing everything. You're going to be killing the boss. You're going to potentially be doing Blights or Intervention or Metamorph. All those things will add value. It's going to take way less than 80 maps. But if you're just talking about the value of the Harbingers alone, of their currency shards and map drops, within 80 maps, you will make 12 Exalts. So if we put that into an Exalt an hour, if you're really slow, I'm going to say that you're going to do 6 maps an hour. If you're really fast, I'm going to say you're going to do 12 maps an hour. At 6 maps an hour, you're making about 1 Exalt an hour profit, which means it'll take you 12 hours of farming. At 12 maps an hour, you're making 2 Exalts an hour, or 6 hours of farming. So what if you wanted to make your farming better and you wanted to invest in Scarabs? Right now, this is a little harder because the Scarab prices have gone insane. If you look at the PoE Ninja page for Harbinger Scarabs right now, looks like it's Dogecoin to be honest. But I did do some math based on the 2 earlier tables. And that shows that you add around 11 Chaos in value for using the Zana modifier for 4 Chaos. If you use Rusted Scarabs at a cost of 12 Chaos a Scarab, you add about 3 Chaos to your map, which isn't particularly worth it. But remember, Harbingers interact with everything else in the map, so this could be significantly more, especially if you have something like Nemesis currency or the Harbinger Sextant. Polished Scarabs actually lose you about 3 Chaos, which means you don't really want to run Polished or higher unless you're running the Nemesis Sextant. Similarly, Gilded lose you about 9 Chaos. With the Nemesis Sextant, this absolutely gives you a massive profit, especially because once you get to around Gilded, you will have 7 Harbingers per map, which means you'll average 2 boss Harbingers, and those boss Harbingers drop a ton of currency. There's so many enemies in them that this is where the real value from the Nemesis currency comes in. And because math is fun, I also did the math for Winged Scarabs. Those lose you about 30 Chaos each. This means unless you're really min-maxing, really heavily investing, doing group play, probably don't worry about Winged Scarabs. Also very huge pain in the ass to buy, so definitely don't worry about Winged Scarabs. But I hope you have found this little breakdown of the low investment profits from farming Harbingers in Valdo's Rest to be helpful. Now my question to you is this. When it comes to money making and Atlas regions, do you prefer something that is very low investment, like the Hayark Hamlet farming, even if it gives you less profit? Or do you prefer something that scales really well, that you can start simple and min-max, and potentially make 10 Exalts an hour if you're really min-maxing everything, the way the Valdo's Rest Harbinger farming works? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below, as I'm going to use that feedback for some of the future videos where I talk about other money-making methods and which Atlas strategies to go for. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And special thanks to all of my channel members who help support me so that I can continue to make videos just like this one. Your support really means a lot, and without it, I probably wouldn't be able to make videos this regularly. If you want to help support the channel, click the membership button or the link down in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful and want to ask me a question in a more interactive setting, I stream at least once a week here on YouTube, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have relating to this video or any of my other videos. Thank you again, and I hope to see you on stream sometime. Have a great day.